Hello, shooters, lords, and casters. Welcome to the Georgia Shooter Connection Friday night live stream. Uh, Sorry I didn't let the countdown go all the way. That music is so thrilling. And I actually had a muscle spasm and clicked it early. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut y'all short or anything. Uh, we hope all y'all had a good week. Uh, there's the real Uncle Bob.
Yeah, Uncle Bob is here.
So, CW, how was your week? We got a full house tonight, man.
Yeah, we do. Good to see everybody. Great to see everybody. Good to see MacMan there, and we got Hillbilly back, and Jason's over there. So good to see some old friends coming back. We had a really good week. We've had typical weather for us. It's been highs in the 70s, overnight in the 50s. So really nice weather. A little bit of rain overnights. Perfect time for it. Yesterday we had a tornado watch. That was kind of fun, but it wasn't for my area. It was a little north of me. But we had a couple of big cells come through. They had a little bit of bad weather. If Miss Kitty's on, she probably saw a little bit of that weather. I don't know that there was any actual tornadoes seen or touched down, but it was warnings, But yeah, really good time. Really good stuff. Anticipating next week. So, actually 2 weeks, but wishing it was next week. Gossman, how was your week?
It wasn't too bad. Good to be here. Good to see everyone out there in the side chat. Yeah, we had Sunday. Apologize for no show on Sunday. We had multiple tornadoes in the area. Lots of storms going on. Internet went in and out like crazy. So decided to go ahead and just pass on doing a show just because I didn't want to start something and just be hit and miss. But this past week's been okay. Pretty busy week at work. Other than that, staying steady. Feeling a little bit better today versus the rest of the week. Rest of the week was a little sore. Starting to feel a little bit better this come yesterday and today. So again, good to be here. Good to see everyone out there. Glad to be here, and looking forward to it, man. Let's see, Hillbilly, how you doing, brother?
Hey, everybody. I'm hanging in there. Good to see everybody, man. It's been a little while. I've been either watching the rerun or try to get on the side chat when I can. But yeah, I mean, for all in all, I'm still going, seeing improvements here and there, and it's kind of like a couple steps forward and a step back. But anyway, yeah. Hoping to get the full recovery, and I'll stay on as long as I can. Starting to have a little bit of muscle spasms here, just from trying to build some more muscle and this and that. But yeah, good to see everybody. MacMan, good to see you too, buddy. How you doing?
How you doing, guys? Thanks for the invite. Letting me jump on here. I haven't been on for a while. As you know, it's we're a few hours behind you, so it's tough to get on here and super busy in work. But we had this so-called holiday today, so my shops are a little bit quiet, and so I managed to get around and get finished, so I could jump on with you guys tonight. Really looking forward, like CW says, in 2 weeks' time when we're gonna meet up with you guys. There's a few who I never met, so it's going to be great to meet up with you guys. And my wife are looking forward to that. I've made some videos. I got some videos coming out, some on the 650 and some on the new Apex 10 that I bought. It's been on hold for a while because I've been waiting for some parts to come in. They sent me wrong. They finally come in now, so I'm back up making the setup and install video on that. So they're coming out. Like I said, I got some on the 650s. It's pretty warm here at the moment. They've shut all the deserts down. We can't go shooting out in the desert at the moment. It's all under the top fire restrictions because we're at 10 degrees here most days now and dry. Too much rain, so we're just waiting for the monsoon to start and get some moisture back here, and they'll hopefully open up the deserts so we can go shooting again. But yeah, so yeah, thanks for letting me jump on, guys. I appreciate it. So with you, Bambadad.
Excuse me. I was taking care of a dog, but not a whole lot. It's been doing a lot of programming this week. Be quiet. And a little bit of reloading, a lot of working in the shop, trying to get some stuff straightened up and done. Other than that, not a whole lot to report. 6, how about you?
Hey everybody, it's we had a pretty good week. Went shooting cowboy action Saturday. I haven't gotten any of my pistols back yet, so I decided to shoot what they call rifleman, where I use 2 rifles instead of pistols, and took the old Henry that I hadn't shot in a while. Worked fine the first couple stages, and it started acting up. By the 5th stage, I threw it down and grabbed the wife's Marley and finished the match. But then got a call Sunday evening, and he had my pistols ready, so I went and got my pistols Monday. And then we got 10 inches of rain here Tuesday, and it downpour.
Woo.
And then Wednesday, I shot a challenge video with a BB gun. So that was my week. But you, Rebel?
Let's see. I'm not going to complain about my knee. I've done enough of that. My maladies are well known. Played with got a customer 7 mag. Been rebarreled Remington. Rebarrel Ruger M77. I'm sorry. And he had a fiberglass stock for it that had some kind of bumpy paint on it and integral sling things on it. He said, Mike, I want you to float this barrel. I want you to paint it for me. Some kind of green tiger stripe. You know me, I'm not too picky. Well, I ordered the paint. I don't know what kind of paint was on that fiberglass stock. It wasn't chipping, so I felt comfortable painting Duracoat over it. But it sucked up about 2 ounces of green. Before I was like, my God, am I making a difference? Is my airbrush working? What is going on? Finally took out in the sunlight. Now, well, okay, it's starting to turn green, but it just sucked up paint like you wouldn't believe. And while I was letting it dry, I was coming in here working on my Ruger Montato, new Vaquero, and the only springs I had, the hammer springs, were old Vaquero springs, and they're a good bit longer. And I'd cut a couple coils and played with it and slicking it up and polishing it, and I cut 2 coils too many. It'll fire factory rounds, but my reloads with CCIs, no. She just toink. So I ordered straight from Wolf. I ordered a 3-pack of 14-pound new Vaquero springs. And I tell you, installing those 6 can tell you, it'll kill your thumbs putting them in. I'd like to make some kind of jig to do that, but
yeah,
table
fork works.
So I just use my yeah. There you go. I've already figured that out.
They're
table
tricky.
fork, it works really good. Yeah, they are tricky. You got to get that little piece and below it, but that table fork. My wife asked me. I brought the table fork back up. She said, "Why is this
fork all bent up. I went, oh, I didn't
When
get
it's
bent
all
back
bent.
right.
Uh-oh.
So I just took it out of the thing and just brought it down here. It's a permanent tool. It's in a drawer with the Wolf Springs, right? So I haven't got the Wolf Springs back. They just ship the day. They're a little slow if you order them directly from Wolf, but that's okay. You get what you want. And other than that, been playing around with that new 222 and working. Business has been typically slow. My fly fishing adventure, I did a couple $100 today in fly gear. And of course, back in my day, you buy a dozen flies, you spent $10. Nowadays, you buy a dozen flies, you spent $50. So, guy come in and bought some flies and bought some this and bought some that. That's what I recommended. And I had a young kid come in there. He's small for his age. He's 13, but he looks like an 11-year-old. And wanted me to teach him to fly cast. And a good friend brought him in, so I rigged up a rod and limped out there. He said, "Your leg's acting up, ain't it?" And I said, "Yes, son, it sure is." "Are you sure you're going to make it?" And I was like, "Son, I'll make it." And I got out there and started teaching the cast. Lord, he was a natural. That did my heart good. That made my day. Absolutely made my day. You know, he said, "If I was to buy one, will you go fishing with me?" I said, "Every day. Just let me get this knee fixed, buddy." And he went, "Okay." But he's a pistol, that kid. And who knows? Might create a forever customer out of him. That's all I got. Walter?
Walter?
Kyle?
Oh,
Who?
okay, yeah, I'll go. Yeah, pretty good week here. Today was a little bit of a somber day. One of my old friends, old kayaking and hiking buddy, had passed away a couple weeks ago, and we had his memorial service today. But it was really good, friends and family, and just a kind of a close knit little community were there. So that was worthwhile. Yeah, I know that you get up to this stage in the game, we start losing friends and family, right? And for you younger
Amen.
folks out there, when the time comes, and someone sends you an invitation to do to go to a memorial service, go. Don't say, I don't want to go. I'm busy. I'm tired. No, just go. And say your last goodbyes, even though you'll keep those folks in your mind forever if they were that kind of a friend. It's always a good thing for you to do for yourself as well as for the remaining family. It's an important thing, or they wouldn't have invited you. So always go to those things whenever you can. You don't have to get all dressed up and wear your Sunday go to meeting shoes and stuff most of the time. But anyway, so I did that today. I got out to the range this weekend. I got some casting done, and believe it or not, I've bought even more moles. I don't know. It's a sickness, boys. I thought I was done with the wad cutters, and I got 3 more wad cutter moles in the last 10 days.
Well, here's the thing. All right, so two things. Number one, well, actually 3 things. Number one, Waller, it's great to see you, brother. And no one wears the hat like you do on YouTube. No one even comes close. Period. Number 2, yes, sir, you're 110% correct. If you have the opportunity to go and say your goodbyes and pay your respects, please go do so. It's a huge thing. We've been losing people on since I've been on here for the last 10 plus years, and this has been ridiculous. But it's a huge thing if you can go and pay your respects. The family appreciates it. The family understands, and they respect you more than you know. and just go do it if you can. And then thirdly, man, you got to keep going with the series. You got the series out there, all these molds I've never cast.
Yeah,
And you're
no, it
running
is.
through all these. You're running through all these drawers of stuff you've never cast. You got to keep filling up the drawers, right?
Well, I keep getting new ones, and as you guys know, I suspended the Moldy Monday series like I did last year for the summer because I got other stuff that I want to go do, and a Moldy Monday video takes me to get it done, and it's usually over a 4-day period. You know, one day to do the casting, another one to load them up, another day to go shoot. It's a 100-mile round trip for me to go shoot, and another day to edit the video and put it up. So, you know, setting that aside for a while gives me time to do some other things, which I want to do. I want to get back after the cap and ball stuff, and I did get to the range this week, and I've been working with a friend of mine on developing some load data for a relatively new powder from Hodgdon. It's not brand new. If you've shot shotgun before, you probably have seen or heard of tight wad powder.
Mm-hmm.
And Hodgdon isn't putting any out right now. We talked to Joel Hodgdon. He said, well, our supplier's not making it right now. But in the meantime, Hodgdon came out with another one called Perfect Pattern, and we compared them. I think they're the same. They're at least very similar. They're not 100% exact, but you look at the burn rate chart, and they're right next to each other, fast-burning powders. And until last year, Hodgdon never put any load data out for handguns for Perfect Pattern. You know, we use other shotgun powders. We use red dot, blue dot, green dot, unique. You know, those are all shotgun powders. But they had never put any data out for tightwad, and for years, I think that first came out back in the 90s. For years, it was like the taboo to use tightwad for handguns. And finally, last year, Hodgdon had a couple of loads in their manual for tightwad. They had one for 38 Super. They had one for 45 Auto. And what was the other one? They might have had one in there for 9mm. But like one load with one bullet, and that was it. And so I got a hold of some Perfect Pattern. I said, I'm going to start working on some load development. And it's looking really good. I'm getting good accuracy.
I swear, Walter,
I'm getting consistency, like standard deviations of 2, 3 out of handguns. Anyway, so I was working on that this week. But
I think the Shotgun Coalition petitioned Hodgkin not to put out any load data for pistol.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
That.
I know that.
Yeah,
it was something that no one ever talked about. At least I never heard anybody talking about it until relatively recently. And I saw in Hodgson's last year's manual was the first time they ever put any load data out for it, and it wasn't much. So I thought, well, let's give this new stuff a try because it looks like it's the same stuff to me. It may not be exactly the same, but it's pretty daggum close. And it's showing a lot of promise. I got a lot more work to do. So far I've done loads with 9mm, 45 Auto, 45 Colt, 44 mag. And I've got some I'm going to do with 38 Special this coming week and 45 Cowboy Special. But I'm telling you, it's looking really good. If it keeps going the way it's going now, I'm going to have a whole bunch of unique for sale cheap. So I'm working on that with again.
I'll pay hazmat.
I'll take it.
No,
this stuff don't
I'll
leave
pay
any.
hazmat.
It doesn't leave any soot on your cases, and it burns way more consistently. It's just a real fast burning powder, so you got to pay attention to that part of your loading stuff. I mean, it's up there like about the third or fourth one down on the list. So, but you know, it's looking good. So I'm having fun with that, and that's one of the things that I wanted to drop off the Moldy Monday for, is to have time to work on that load development. So you got to be real careful, of course, on that. So other than that, life is pretty good here. My physical therapist for my back issue is a gremlin. That rascal, oh man, he's tearing me. I don't know which is worse, the back pain or the physical therapist. it's a tie so
Physical.
far.
Generally the way it is.
Physical, physical,
That'll
physical
depend, Walter. How good does he look?
I think he's helping me, but it could be just time. My back pain is less than it was, but I don't know if it's him or just more time going on. You can't tell anyway. So I'm getting there. The back's getting better. It's never going to be good, but it's better than it was a month ago. So that's what's happening over here at Casa de Viejo.
You got to find one that's a her and not a he.
Yeah, this guy is good. He helped me with when I had the motorcycle wreck. He helped me with my broken knee, and so I've known him for quite a while now. And he kind of knows that when I tell him, "Hey, I'm not doing this," he knows to shut the hell up. I said, okay, let's find something else.
Yeah, no, I've had those therapists in the past too. Last year, doing physical therapy back and forth, they kept trying to tell me to keep doing the same thing over and over, and I'm like, dude, it's not helping. We got to change this up. Like, stop. Let's try something different. I'm good for 2 days, and then I hurt for 5. We're not doing this.
Yeah, exactly. So anyway, that's me. Hey, Kyle, what's up with you, man?
Good evening, everybody. Great to see everybody in the side chat. That everybody's cutting up with each other, and that's what we love. That's what makes it. Me and the wife actually had a couple of days off together, and we've been jeeping. And Jamie should be smiling right now if he checked his text messages, because we made a road trip to go take the Jeep off-roading, and the road was off. It was closed. But it was a beautiful ride and all that. Came back home, didn't get rained on. Then the next day we decided to go and take it out again, and we opened the door to take the cover off the Jeep. Since we have removed the top from it, we got a cover over it. Went to go take the cover off of it, and the bottom fell out. So I'm like, okay, so want to watch a movie? Other than that, that's about what we got going on over here. I'm good.
Man, I would love to just sit and watch a movie. It would be unbelievable. Yeah. I go to work, come home, walk dogs, eat supper, and it's bedtime.
Yep.
I know how you feel.
Yep. I understand.
I got 4 dogs to walk, and it's just not any fun. So tonight we wanted to talk about 30 caliber American military cartridges. We talked about a little bit of American stuff last week, but with it closing in on Independence Day, I wanted to just cover those a little better, and we'll Marvin's giving me down the country, y'all. No, that ain't it, Marvin. Anyway, we'll put that up there for Marvin. I was just born this way, I reckon.
We wouldn't have you any other way, sir.
I'm really tired tonight. I just really am. I had a bad night earlier in the week. I couldn't sleep at all. Well, I slept, but it was in my recliner. And went to the doctor the next day, got some more medicine, which I haven't tried yet, but hopefully we'll catch up on some sleep in the morning and get some reloading, yard work done, practice for our big concert at church. We're having a 250th anniversary celebration at church on Sunday night with fireworks and all that good stuff. So if y'all in the neighborhood, drop by. Hey, G23, what's going on, my buddy? So yeah, we'll let's recap quickly 3040 Craig, which we talked a little bit about last week. We were talking about 30 caliber military cartridges last week, but mostly what we talked about was the Russian stuff. And we talked a little bit about other stuff, but so y'all remember before 3040 Craig, our armed forces were using 4570 government, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 3040 Craig was developed in the early 1890s. It was designed to be a smokeless powder cartridge. And they wanted to go to small bore after the 4570. And the Army adopted the model of 1892 Springfield, better known as the Craig Jorgens, from the Norwegian designer's name. And it was also used in the Gallon guns. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
What? Which was?
3040 Craig.
Yeah. Everybody knows the 4570. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Navy and the Marine Corps adopted limited numbers of smokeless powder and bolt action rifles. The 3040 Craig was the first cartridge adopted by the U.S. Army that was designed from the outset for smokeless powder, and it was patterned after the 303 British, which is very similar geometrically. So they started off trying to use a 230 grain bullet loading, and the 30 Army loading was standardized in 1894 using a 220 grain metal jacketed round nose bullet with 40 grains of nitrocellulose powder. This loading developed a maximum velocity of 2,000 feet per second and a 30-inch barrel of the Craig rifle.
It's still impressive.
Well, it's a 220 grain bullet. So that's due to its dimensional similarities, 303 brass can be annealed and pressed into 3040 dimensions in a full-length sizing die. I did not know that. A converted 303 case will turn out about 2 millimeters shorter than a factory new 3040 Craig case, but it is still a viable option for hand loaders when new factory brass is scarce.
It can give you some misfires and some issues with ignition because the rim is thinner with some guns. So it depends on your pin protrusion and the headspace setting on your gun. So it works, but so does 444 Marlin, but it doesn't work all the time. If anybody's seen 3040 Craig cases, it's got a very, very thick rim. It almost looks double thick from normal rims.
So you're saying it may set the headspace off a little bit?
It does give you a little bit of headspace, yeah. And if your pin protrusion, the amount your firing pin sticks out, is short, so it's short, it works fine on the 3040. It has a little farther to reach for use with 303 brass. So it may give you some ignition issues if you have that problem in your gun.
Okay, the 200 grain is producing a velocity of 1,974 feet per second with I'm assuming this is muzzle velocity. The 150 grain is running it out at 2,575 feet per second. So just a little bit stronger than 30-30 Winchester. And my 35 Remington load gets more velocity with the 200 grain bullet, and it makes a bigger hole. But they also tell a story in here about the Plute elk. It's pretty interesting. This guy shoots, his name was John Plute, Plute, and he shot, used a 30-40 Craig. He was a Colorado gold miner. He shot a world record mountain elk, Rocky Mountain elk. And he never lived to see the record, but he gave the antlers to a bar called the Elk Saloon in 1915 to pay his bar tab. And he died in 1922, 40 years before the record was declared. It was a massive 6x7 point set of antlers, was mounted on the wall until the owner died in 1948, and it was bought by new owners. The antlers remained in the bar for another decade. When an experienced elk hunter noticed their impressive size, he suggested to the owners that they get them measured and scored, as they could have a record rack on their wall on their hands. So the owners then requested an official score sheet from the Boone and Crockett Club. And after scoring the antlers and sending the card back to the club didn't believe the results, as it was much larger than the current record at the time. So the owners asked a Colorado game warden to measure the antlers, and the club disbelieved his measurements as well. The club said they would only publish the results if they could examine the antlers in person. So in 1962, the antlers were shipped to their headquarters in New York. That right there says it all. So the club measured the antlers at being 5 feet wide, and their base measured a foot around.
Jesus.
They declared it a world record, which stood from 1962 until 1998, when another elk beat it only by 1/4 of an inch.
Wow.
But that
Stretching that 1/4 inch.
That's a good story, though.
is a great story.
I wouldn't have shipped the antlers.
Relative to how much somebody's stretching a little measuring tape out too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have shipped the antlers. I was afraid the United States Postal Service would send them a bunch of pieces. It's a Lego set. Y'all put it together.
I'd have told that club, you come out here and measurement. If we're wrong, we'll buy your plane tickets.
Right.
But if we're right, you buy your plane tickets.
Can you imagine the size of that crate? It's
Yeah.
a world record elk
Yeah.
rack.
It's a
With
box
5
car.
foot spread. What vehicle is that going to fit in? You got to send a truck.
So if it's 5 feet wide, how dang long is it? 15,
Right.
20 feet?
Good
With
God.
a foot diameter.
Who knows?
Imagine
That's a big
the
box.
neck on that.
That won't even fit in the back of a pickup truck.
No.
I can see them old West boys. You want me to send this where? New York City.
New York City.
Yeah.
That's good. I love it.
All right, Jamie, it's time to do your thing, brother.
It's past time. Type in 3040 and we'll call your name out on TV.
30-40.
Good Lord have mercy.
And looky there.
That
That's
was
what's left of a 30-40 Craig cartridge that a buddy of mine shot many, many years ago. I made this in 1978 as a dipper, and that's a 30-40 Craig cartridge, and it's never come apart. I've shined it up a couple times. So how long ago was that? That's like almost 50 years ago that I made that dipper. and it served me well. I'm telling you, that was a case from heaven for me.
Yeah.
Closest I ever got to a 30-40, Craig, by the way.
Well, I'll tell you what.
One.
Even though until I've handled a lot of Tikas and bragged on them, but a 30-40 Craig, in my opinion, is still the smoothest bolt there ever was. Very smooth.
Yeah. Kentucky Rimfire Justin says a 3.8 inch diameter is a 12-inch circumference. He's using that pi formula.
Yeah.
Okay, Walter was in first. He's on the panel in the side chat. CW2A was a close second. Kyle Lusk was third. 6-shooter Texas, MacMan, Bama Dad are all on the panel helping us out tonight. GGW is out there. Mike Hester is also on the panel. G23, Ozark, Spirit, The Real Uncle Bob, M. Gabriel, Edward Petty, Chessboard 1968, Bobby Barlow, Kentucky Rimfire Justin, Hillbilly Ups on the panel. Good to have him back with us tonight. Dwayne 7834. Oh, one guy. Good to see you out there, brother. And I think we are up to date. No, there's Crazy Scotsman says 44 is God's caliber.
Oh God.
We'd already talked.
I thought that was 45 ACP.
Let the madness
It's
begin.
It's 452.
Glenn Davis is out there. Ron 2A Matters. GGW said, wait, JH, I put in 30-06. I thought you didn't want to be called out when you don't follow instructions, brother. I don't know. I just work here, man. But it's great to see G23 out there as well.
And Twine's here too.
Twine's here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at there.
Did I miss her?
No, she
She
just
just
showed
came
up.
in. Yep.
She's
Yeah,
really
there's
sideways.
Twine. I was getting there. Glenn Davis is out there. Twisted Twine woodworking. And now maybe we are up to date.
I'm sorry, I was eating chicken wings and throwing the bones over my shoulder.
Eating chicken and throwing the bones out the window.
Well, I'm not in the vehicle. I'm in the kitchen. And Jamie, you know, I have an elevated trash can because of my four-legged heroes here. So I'm just throwing them over my shoulder and I'm hitting the square.
Hoping you hit the trash can.
You got it, brother.
It's good to see Twisted Twine. Make Ozark behave, will you?
Can't do that.
He's picking on my looks.
Hey, Jamie, I keep seeing a lot of 30-40 out in the side chat. I thought it was 30-30.
30-40 Craig is
Listen at him, will you?
tonight.
It's 30-30, right?
Tim S. is
No.
also out there. It's really crazy, though, man. You think 30-30 and then 30-40. The extra 10 grains of black powder ain't getting you a whole lot, maybe 100 feet per second.
Well, the thing is charging up San Juan Hill, they were being shot at with Spitzer bullets, and they were using, old school bullets. They were like, we got to do something. So,
Well, we're getting to that.
yeah.
In 1899, after reviewing the experience of the Spanish-American War, U.S. Ordnance authorities developed a new loading for the 30 Army, used in the Craig rifle in an attempt to match the ballistics of 7x57 millimeter Mauser cartridge employed by the Spanish forces in that conflict. Guess what happened? Y'all know what happened. We mentioned it last time. New loading increased muzzle velocity and the rifle version of the Craig to 2,200 feet per second at 45,000 psi. However, once the new loading was issued, reports of cracked locking lugs on service Craigs began to surface. In March 1900, the remaining stocks of this ammunition, some 3.5 million rounds, were returned to the arsenals, broken down, and reloaded back to the original 2,000 feet per second specification. So
Can you
after
imagine
all,
breaking that many rounds down?
3.5 million rounds. Golly. So
Put
the
that
next
so besides a hammer. A hammer.
questions or comments about 3040 Craig? Y'all want to see a picture of it before we move on?
I know Ron Wayne has one, and he that's like he says that's one of his favorite rifles, favorite thing to shoot.
Cause it's so smooth, man. Like Rebel was talking about, the action on it is like butter, but that's partly due to the fact that it's only got one locking lug in my mind.
It's a really
Yeah.
neat rifle. It's got a box magazine that loads from the side.
These are not military issue cartridges. They really are, CW. I'm wondering how reliable that is. You got to lean it to the left when you work the bolt.
No, it's super
Not once the
reliable.
door's closed. No,
Yeah. You can throw them in there, close
do
the
it
door,
upside
and
down.
it's
it's a control round feed. It'll load upside down.
Yeah, they're very, very smooth. I haven't come across one yet that I had any issues with. They've all been really smooth over the years that I've seen. And I've bought and sold quite a few over the years.
got one now to shop.
So they changed to the 30 from the 30 Army to the 3003, which we talked a little pretty good bit about last week. And actually, there was a 3001 model of 1901.
There's another real obscure one. It's not a 30, but it was the 6mm Lee Navy. I don't think it was officially adopted by the U.S. military, but it was used by the U.S. military. It's kind of looks like a 7x57. It's that look of a case. It's got a really long neck. It's got a pretty heavy bullet for a 6mm. I should have grabbed a bunch of bullets. I got a few of them. But it was very, very limited use. And of course, it's only 6mm, so it's not pertinent to tonight's conversation. But it was a U.S. military cartridge.
Look at this, man. And I think we showed this last week. 3001, or what they called the thick rim, the 3003, and the 30-06. Notice that the 30-06 has a more of a pointed bullet, and the case is just a little bit shorter. There's one of them 3003s. Let's see, it is, I don't have ballistic information on it. So anyway, that's what took the place of the Craig Jorgensen. Mauser's was, it's something else when you win a war, but you're covetous of the opposition's rifle. They were actually hitting out to 400 or 500 yards, I'm sure.
The story about those the 30-40 and the 757 was they were actually, our rifles were actually hitting the dirt in front of at maximum elevation, and the 7x57s were killing people over the other side.
Right. So the new cartridge, the 3003, was more powerful, using a 45 grain charge of smokeless powder, 5 grains more than the 3040. The bullet was the same, the 30 caliber 220 grain
Round
nose jacketed bullet at a higher velocity of 2,300 feet per second compared to the 2,000 feet per second of the 3040 Craig. The new rifle was also the first in a trend of shorter infantry rifles. The 24-inch barrel was halfway between the standard infantry rifle and the carbine used by the cavalry, and thus there was no carbine variant of the 1903 rifle. Rimless design, so it fed better through a box magazine. The model 1895 Winchester lever action rifle was offered in 3003 from 1905, but sold poorly in comparison to the 30-06 chambering offered in 1908. So the Vickers Company in England produced the Maxim M1904 machine gun in 3003 for the U.S. Army in 1908. Later, the 1904 machine guns were produced by Colt in 30-06, and the 3003 guns were rechambered for 30-06. So they did a lot of conversion, a lot of trial and error and stuff back then.
Well, 3006 would fit in a 3003, but the 303 wouldn't fit in the 3006. That's why you see the 06 with a slightly shorter case. It's so the 3003 wouldn't fit.
So next is the 30-06.
He really got bumped off, I guess. Or did he say goodbye on the side?
He'll barely have to leave us.
I guess so. I don't see a note on the side, but he probably maybe the hamster fell off the wheel again.
Marvin bugged out. See you, man.
Yep.
Hope I didn't get him in trouble. Anyway, 30-06. Official title: cartridge, ball, caliber 30, model of 1906. It was the 303, the 3003 case was modified to have a slightly shorter neck to fire a Spitzer flat base 150 grain bullet that had a ballistic coefficient of approximately G1 BC of 0.405, muzzle velocity of 2,700 feet per second, and muzzle energy of 2,429 foot-pounds. The cartridge was loaded with military rifle 21 propellant, and its max maximum range was claimed falsely to be 4,700 yards. Can y'all imagine?
4,700 yards. Damn.
Yeah. That's 2.5 miles, ain't it?
That's over 2.5 miles.
And so basically, when 30-06 came out, they rechambered everything to 30-06. The range test had been done to only 1,800 yards or 1,650 meters. And they talk a little bit about barrage or indirect fires, U.S. infantry tactics during World War One. We won't get into all of that. In 1926, they did some testing with the Swiss GP11 cartridge, the 7.5 by 55 Swiss, provided by the Swiss. Developed the 30 M1 ball cartridge loaded with a new, check this out, improved military rifle, IMR 1185 propellant with a 174 grain bullet. So with that, they were getting muzzle velocity of 2,647 feet per second. And it did a lot better at distance and dispersion. And they talk about the rifles and stuff like that. But main thing I wanted to get at was the improvement in the velocity, the range, and during this period of time, there's a lot of stuff going on. And y'all know the 30-06 is still widely sought after for hunting today. Let's look at some of these pictures. So what we got with 150 grain nozzler ballistic tip, you get 2,910 feet per second. 165 grain boat tail saw points, 2,800 feet per second. 180 grain core lock saw point, 2,700 feet per second. 200 grain partition, 2,569 feet per second. And a 220 grain round nose, 2,500 feet per second. Federal cartridge, accurate powder, and SAMI are their sources for that.
The 165 is bad medicine.
Yeah, it is. Let's see if we can share some of these pictures with y'all, and then we'll get on to something else. I feel like I'm talking too much.
And there's our buddy Gene Pishner showed up. Hey, Gene.
That right there is the greatest fighting implement the world has ever devised.
According to General Patton.
He ought to know, right?
Well, at that time it was. You know?
That right there is a Winchester Model 70 Super Grade.
Carlos Hathcock. Except it don't have a unurl on it.
It's got a Leopold 6 power scope.
Yeah, looks like a fixed power.
Yeah.
6x42.
Probably. Maybe 44. I don't know. There's what I hunted with for a long time right there. Winchester Super X. 180 grains. There we go. That is a 9.3 by 62 on the left. 30-06 Springfield next to that. A 7.92 by 57 Mauser in the middle. 6.5 by 55 millimeter. And then the 308 Winchester on the end. Which
And that
is
9.3 is no joke now.
that's a house, man.
It's got some good heavy bullets. It's very, very close to the Whalen, except it shoots heavier bullets. Standard bullet for that one was 286 grains.
What country of origin was that?
I'm not sure.
Eastern Europe,
It's Europe.
I believe.
Yeah, it's Europe, but
I mean, it ain't Finland because the Finns killed everything with a
there's
6.5
a
by
bunch of them too.
55.
There's a bunch of 9.3s. The 62, the 74, 74R.
There's your end block clip. That is a clip.
Yep, that is a clip.
As
Not a
opposed to
magazine.
magazine.
It goes in a magazine.
There's
Right.
your 30-06 Springfield cartridge dimensions.
Yeah, what that goes, fellas, is that goes ping,
Yeah.
Mm.
and that's the proper ping. Ping.
I don't know how many Germans died because GIs figured out how to take a
Yep.
empty
Throw it on the ground.
end clip and throw it on the ground or hit it on their helmet.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
they
say
popped
they
their
hit it
head-
on their helmet.
They pop their heads up. Goodbye.
Yep. Throw it on their helmet. Goes ping. That's it. Done. All over.
The 5 most common used bullets used in the United States military loadings from left to right. The left one is the M1903 bullet, the M1906 ball, M1 ball, M2 ball, and M2 armor piercing bullet. Which means it's got steel in it somewhere. I don't know what this mess is.
Dummy round. Dummy round. Yep. I got a whole bandolier of those.
So it was made at Frankfurt Arsenal in April of 1909. Wow. And that's a M1919 Browning machine gun.
M. Gabriel is out there, says, real gun, real gun. You ain't wrong, brother.
Yeah. All right. There's your pictures. That's pretty dang cool, man. So we used this, we used the 30-06 through 2 world wars, Korea, and during Korea, I think, is when we started going to the,
What do you got there, Rebel?
I hear Jamie clicking. He's getting it.
Armor piercing.
What is
20.
that? Some fancy clothing brand? Look at this guy. Some fancy clothing brand is flashing off here.
That's actually the real thing. There you go.
I thought you were in the South, not in California, man. What the hell?
There's Bull.
Armoire Pearson. Armoire
It's-
Pearson.
It,
Uh-huh.
it says armor. 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 No R after the M. Armor piercing. Caliber M2.
32, which is
Yeah.
basically that last bullet we showed on those set of pictures there. All right, we got two more. Let's do this one next. Just quickly. 30 carbine was developed in the early 1940s as a lightweight intermediate power cartridge for the M1 carbine to arm support personnel and specialized troops during World War II. U.S. Army began seeking a light rifle in October 1940 to provide support personnel, rear area troops, and specialized units with a weapon more powerful than the M1911A1 pistol, but lighter than the M1 Garand or the Thompson submachine gun. The goal was a firearm weighing roughly half of the M1 with an effective range of 300 yards and a mid-range trajectory of 18 inches or less at that distance. So Winchester developed the 30 carbine cartridge by modifying the older 32 Winchester self-loading cartridge used in the model 1905 rifle. The case was lengthened, rimless, and paired with a lighter 110 grain bullet, resulting in higher muzzle velocity and energy compared to the 32 WSL. The cartridge was designed for semi-automatic fire from the M1 carbine's 18-inch barrel, producing 1,990 feet per second velocity and 967 foot-pounds of energy. So Winchester didn't submit a rifle because they were busy in 1940. But after persuasion by Army ordnance, they scaled down the M2 30-06 rifle design, incorporating a short-stroke gas piston rotating bolt developed by David Marshall Carbine Williams. The resulting M1 carbine was adopted on October 22nd, 1941, and production began in June of 1942. It was issued to infantry officers, artillery tank crews, paratroopers, and line of communications personnel, providing a balance of portability and firepower. It was not intended as a primary battle rifle, but proved effective within 50 yards with high kill rate in close engagements.
Now, David Carbine Williams, tell him where he was when they developed that rifle.
He was in prison and
North by God, Carolina. That's where he's from.
Was it Brushy?
Yeah, I think it was Brushy. Yeah.
So
They
they
helped get
made
him out of prison.
so between June of 1942 and August of 1945, over 6 million M1 carbines were produced by 10 primary U.S. contractors, including Winchester, Inland, and Rockola, with parts often subcontracted to hundreds of smaller companies. Variants included the M2 carbine capable of selective fire, the M3 carbine equipped with an infrared scope system. That sounds fun. It also saw limited use in handguns such as the Smith & Wesson hand ejector revolver in 1944 and later in Ruger Blackhawk and ATM Automag 3 pistols.
The Ruger Blackhawk and 30 carbine is the loudest one handgun I've ever experienced in my life. It is
Something about
loud.
those long straight cases, just even a 22
It just got
mag
a
pistol.
crack.
22 mag
God.
pistol is louder than you
Yes,
expect it to be. The
it's
30
onerous.
carbine, 327
It's just
Federal,
onerous.
they're all loud.
Yeah, just
Mac,
oh my God,
it's loud.
it's terrible. But I always wanted. If you watch Clint Eastwood's movie Heartbreak Ridge and watch it from the beginning, they show some old footage, and you get to see a guy. It's supposed to be Korean footage. I don't know if it is. But you see a guy come up over a berm, and he dumps an M2 fully automatic, and the cyclic rate is just unfriggin' real. It just dumps a 30-round clip in like no time. You just see brass float over its head, and that's about the only configuration I'd want one of those in. I've had a couple of them. We used to trade them back and forth for $150 all day long.
They're fun guns. They really are.
Yeah, but now they're they're
Pricey
super
fun guns.
expensive.
All right, folks. Well, it was great to see everybody. I'm sorry I've got to cut it short. Landlord's coming over to work on some plumbing issues. But great seeing everyone, and hopefully we'll see you next Friday. Y'all take care, stay safe, stay vigilant, keep up the fight. God bless America, and we'll see y'all soon.
Thanks for
Scott.
being here,
Jason.
bro.
Hey, Jason.
Night,
Night,
Jason.
buddy. That's a good picture right there of M1 carbine.
It is.
Isn't it?
It really is. I never found those things to be like super accurate, but
Yeah, I had one of
they
those.
were fun. Yeah, they were fun.
There's your Auto Mag 3. Can you imagine?
I got a customer that's got one, Jamie. I try to rustle him up and see if he can come shoot with us. Let y'all shoot that thing. It's a loud pistol.
Yeah, it is.
Who is that? Can y'all tell?
Well, they have
Looks like Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
Good show.
It says it's Winston Churchill.
Well,
Oh, yeah, it does.
got younger eyes than I do. Maybe I can't read it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean that in a smart aleck way.
That's a little tight.
23
Churchill,
March 1944.
He liked to try shit out, did he?
Notice those guys standing there watching him.
Mhm.
I believe. Do y'all recognize the guy standing behind him? I know his face is concealed, but I got an idea.
It looks like
Is that Patton?
Dwight. No,
No, I don't
I
think
can't
so.
tell.
Eisenhower.
Picture's too small.
Not MacArthur.
from the haircut and stuff, looked like Eisenhower to me. But
I believe
Yeah.
that's Ike.
Yeah, that's what I would guess.
Blow this
Yep.
up and look. Oh, never mind.
A Linda pistol. Linda?
Go back.
It's not a Linda. What is that? They had a name. What were the name of them things, Mike?
That is Ike. That's Ike. Yes.
I think
yeah,
so.
it's
sure.
got to be. Look at his shoulder. You know,
That right there.
was Ike.
What is that? That was a
It had a name.
what was
It's
it
not a
called?
Linda.
Enforcer in
The Universal Enforcer and 30 carbine.
get the hell out of the way. I can't remember. but it was some kind of badass name.
Yeah, it had a name, nickname maybe, but it had a name.
Yeah.
Inland Advisor.
Now
Like
that's funny. That's got the jungle carbine muzzle brake on it with the infield muzzle. That's funny.
That might be a paratrooper.
Hey, just hanging onto that thing while you shot it had to be, you know, a Rambo move.
They don't kick much.
Nah, it's more like a pistol round. You know, it's
Is it really? That's a big old
they
long
don't kick
cartridge.
much at all.
I always remember reading that they were like a replacement for a lot of guys who couldn't shoot a handgun.
Well, a buddy of mine from Vietnam who was a grunt, he's passed away now, but he said, 30 carbine was a gun for REMFs. I said, REMFs? He said, REMFs. And I won't tell you what the MS stands for, but the other stands for rear echelon, you know, and he carried an M60, but he did say one of the coolest kills he ever saw was with a 30 carbine from a Arvin captain who was on patrol with him, and he held up his fist like this. They all got off trail, and the Arvin captain got behind a tree, and he turned his carbine around because those little guys love that carbine. And he turned his carbine around, was holding it by the barrel, and an NBA soldier came down the trail with a bike, and he hit him right in the mouth with a stock, just like a baseball bat. Then turned around and shot him 6 times, you know. And he looked around, grinned, said, "Good BC, good BC." Yeah, the South Vietnamese guys, they like that little rifle. I imagine, as small as they were, it probably fit them well, you know.
Probably.
Yeah, they worked really well.
First gun I ever took to a deer stand was a M1
30 carbine.
Yeah.
30 carbine. I was probably 8 or 9 years old. Didn't get to shoot.
Last one we want to talk about quickly, and I mean quickly. 7.62 by 51 NATO. The development started just after World War I, which is surprising to me.
Bit of trivia.
The large, powerful 30-06 cartridge proved difficult to adapt to semi-automatic rifles. A less powerful cartridge would allow a lighter firing mechanism. At the time, the most promising design was the 276 Peterson, when it was eventually demonstrated that 30-06 Springfield was suitable for semi-automatic rifles. The 276 Peterson was dropped. And I think that was the original chambering that the M Garand was developed for. So when war appeared to be looming again only a couple of decades later, the 30-06 Springfield was the only round available, and the M1 Garand provided U.S. troops with greater firepower than their bolt-action armed opponents. The Garand was performed so well that the U.S. saw little need to replace it during World War II, and the 30-06 Springfield served well beyond the Korean War and into the mid-50s. The 30-06 Springfield was officially replaced by the 7.62 NATO M14 in 1957. During the 40s and early 50s, several experiments were carried out to improve the M1 Garand semi-automatic rifle. One of the most common complaints was the limited capacity 8-round end-block clip, and many experimental designs modified the weapon to use a detachable box magazine. Springfield Armory's T-20 rifle was a fully automatic version, though not adopted. Experience with the full automatic Grand laid the groundwork for its replacement. The test program continued for several years, including both the original 30-06 Springfield round and experimental cartridge. So during the 40s, the 300 Savage became the basis for experiments on behalf of the U.S. military that resulted in the development of the T65 series of experimental cartridges. Experimental cases were made from standard 30-06 Springfield cases, which had slightly less capacity than the standard 300 Savage cases because Frankfurt Arsenal cases had slightly thicker case walls. The later T65 iterations were made from shortened 30-06 Springfield cases and were longer compared to the original T65 case, as the 300 Savage has a shorter case length than the resulting 7.62 NATO. The resulting cartridges provided a ballistic performance roughly equal to the U.S. military 30-aught Springfield 1906 pattern M1906 and the 1938 pattern M2 service cartridges. Well, I have trouble believing that. Let's see.
P.O. Ackley never designed a 308 improved because he said the 308 was already improved.
Yeah, they did a lot of work. So the M80 full metal jacket 147 grain loading produces 2,800 feet per second. The 50.5 grain M59 mild steel core full metal jacket is 2,810 feet per second. And then the 175 grain M118 long range boat tail hollow point is 2,600 feet per second. And so the last iterations of the T65 series are the E4 and the E5, and they were what was adopted by NATO. But the British were using a 280 British 7mm cartridge with an eye toward controllable full automatic. The U.S. held to its desire not to reduce the effectiveness of individual aimed shots. The American philosophy was to use automatic fire only in emergencies and continue to use semi-automatic fire the majority of the time. After considerable debate, the Canadian Army announced they would be happy to use the 280, but only if the U.S. did as well. So it was clear that the U.S. was not going to use the 280 British, and the British had started introducing it, but they stopped, and in the interest of harmonization across NATO.
Y'all know what the? Oh, go ahead, Jamie. I'm sorry.
And with that, NATO adopted the 7.62 by 51 millimeter in 1954.
Now, do y'all know what it went real quickly? I know Jamie needs to get to it, but what it went to trials, the M14 went to trials with what rifle for acceptance? Anybody know? Okay. The FNFAL, L1A1. And the L1A1 was such a modern rifle at that time it kind of boogered American people because wasn't a lot of wood on it, and this and that back and forth, but it had a adjustable gas, just like the M14. Yeah, and
tremendous rifle, tremendous battle
just,
rifle, I could say.
Yes, a right arm of the free world is what they call it now, and supposedly Springfield during the Arctic trials took their test M14, and in the American way, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying, slick that booger up real good, and the M14 narrowly beat out the L1A1 as the U.S. service rifle. And of course, the M14 is probably our shortest lived service rifle, even though it's a fantastic platform, as the FNFAL is. But it didn't last long, It did not last long. The Vietnam hit and minds changed and carrying ammo.
They were working on that. They were working on those cartridges simultaneously.
Right. I'd share y'all an L1A1 if YouTube wouldn't get their panties in a wad, but I'll save that for a private chat.
Yeah, it was. All right, I have sucked up the whole show with that tonight.
But it was a good discussion.
Well, I hope y'all liked it.
Jamie, can I say something right quick?
Absolutely, brother. Please.
The lady that my wife goes and takes care of just passed away.
Oh, man.
No.
I'm sorry, Tex.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, that's tough.
97.
And
Lived a good life.
I know Penny will be having difficulty with that too, so prayers out to her as well.
She's up there with him.
Just
She's
today,
over
6.
now.
Huh?
She's over with the family now. Penny.
She's up there. I mean, it just happened.
Okay.
She just texted me.
Okay.
Yeah. My wife deals with that every day. She's a nurse at
Yeah.
Make sure you give her our best, Rick.
Yeah, please do, Rick. I'm glad she lived a good, long life.
That's good stuff. I wish I could say I'm ex Hibernia. I hope I said that correctly.
Looks good to me. Yeah. Nitrocellulose and nitroglycerin, 2 high explosives put together. So you still got a high explosive when you're done with that combo.
Yeah, nitrocellulose is just flammable. Highly flammable. Not explosive.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing over there, Mac, man? I didn't give you much time to say anything tonight.
I'm just taking all the information, and it's been pretty cool.
I want to tell you guys how much money MacMan has cost me this last like 4 or 5 months or so. So MacMan bought this 3D printer, and then when I went to visit him here a few months ago, I guess it was February, he showed me this. Oh, I got to do this. Holy cow! You got to see what's up here in front of me. How many spools of filament, and I could fill up a 55-gallon drum of the failed projects that I've made, trying to learn how to do CAD and stuff. I'm getting there with the CAD thing, but it is interesting and it is fun. I got to thank MacMan for that. I don't want to chastise him for it. And,
So
but it's opened up a whole new world for me. It's a kick.
It's fun. It's
do
really
y'all
fun.
remember last week we showed some cordite?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
Those-
sticks.
Yellow
those,
sticks.
like,
They're kind of
toothpicks.
they're
Yeah,
not really straight. They're kind of crooked, like a straight limb off a tree, and they stack up long in the cartridge.
Looks like biscotti.
the strands look like toothpicks to me. That's what I relate to.
They kind of do, but you can see through them.
Yeah, they're a
Yeah.
yellowish, translucent yellowish red color.
Glassy looking kind of.
Let me see if I can find a picture of it for ex Hibernia. If I'm not saying that right, man, please correct me.
So, Mac, you coming to North Carolina?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you are?
Old-
That's great.
I'll be your host. I hope I'm worthy.
I'm looking forward to it. Meeting all you guys.
The
Yeah, we
yard looks
fly
a
out
little rough.
Saturday.
The yard
We're
looks a
gonna
little
fly out
rough.
Saturday to we get in Saturday afternoon, and then Sunday, Monday we're just gonna drive around, tour around, see if we can find some animals out there, do some country parks, and then obviously we've got the shooting then Tuesday and Wednesday, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Well, Monday, me and CW will probably be shooting. So if you want to shoot, then that's fine.
There we
I
go.
think it's right. CW, you're
Yeah, my
coming
wife
in
comes
and
with me, and she likes to drive around, so we spend a couple of days just like doing a little bit touring because we've never been out there before. So she has a couple of days doing what she likes, and I have a couple of days
Nice.
doing what I like. So it works out
There
good.
you go. There you go.
Perfect.
That's good stuff, Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy says that's inserted in the case before the shoulder is formed.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
But that's what it looks like. Hibernia.
That I'd really love to see the process of assembling those rounds. If they're going to put the cordite in there and then form the shoulder, I don't know if I'd want to be the guy that was
Yeah,
in there doing
yeah,
that.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a fiber wad?
Looks like it.
Sure does look like
does.
it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, what else would that be? You know.
Nothing.
Yeah, no, it's got to be a wad.
A poor man's ghost ring site. Yeah.
There you go, guys.
That's
Pain feel for when it
fiber
blows
wad.
up in your hand.
Yeah.
Kyle, yeah, talk about a shaky lever pull.
Yeah.
Ricky Baird, yeah. Hey, Ricky.
Hey,
What's
Ricky.
that? They use that as a gunpowder, do they?
That was a gunpowder. Yep.
Yep,
And
cordite.
notice they got a felt wad or a cork wad
Mhm.
under the bullet. That's interesting too to me.
Yeah,
Probably
it's
needed
gotta
it
be
for
gotta be
storage.
related to seating all of those strands down to the same level, so they all kind of burn more or less at the same rate.
And the corrosive level of the cordite, Walter.
Yeah.
It probably protected the base of that bullet.
Oh yeah. I guess over time that could eat away the bullet base. I hadn't thought about that. That's good.
Or make the corrode the
Excite-
bullet into the brass and just
And ex-Hibernia has a good point there. How do you are they all that consistent? So all you have to do is count the sticks, or is there somebody there who's making the sniper rounds with his snippers?
Yeah,
cutting
dude,
them off?
dude, you're talking about reloading from way back. I'm
I
not
guess
there.
so.
I'm not there.
Tommy Boy says not corrosive, it's erosive. It's different.
Yeah. Yeah. It's erosive.
So it's just going to erode, not corrode. It's going to make stuff void.
Yeah, eat it up and not make a new compound. Is what
It'll eat a throat.
erosion is.
It'll eat a throat quicker than modern powder.
Mark Thomas, brother, I can't see that well, dude.
Yeah, it's hard to tell from the perspective there whether it's the diameter of the base of the bullet or the, what that is. It can't be bigger than the base of that bullet, or the bullet wouldn't get in there, I wouldn't think, unless they put that wad in there before the neck was formed. Also, put the cordite in, then put the wad in, then form the neck.
I've got a buddy of mine that's into really antique Schutzen type stuff that could probably answer that question, but that's a rabbit hole I really don't want to go down.
That's good info from that Bama dad over there in the side chat, guys.
Yeah.
You're loading
And something we don't always think about, that we're miles ahead with our modern smokeless powders. We're miles ahead of where we are at the turn of the last century.
Sounds like that stuff does what dynamite does after you store it for a while.
It does. Yeah.
So y'all ready for the verse of the week?
Yes.
Yeah.
While we
still have fingers.
Are y'all afraid you're going to hell if you say no?
Nope.
All right. I'm ready. Got my book.
John chapter 3, verses 6 through 8.
My bookmark was right there. How did that happen? John 3, 6 through 8. All right. That which is born of the flesh.
Okay. Quick review. Last week we talked about verses 4 and 5. Let me show those quickly. Nicodemus said to him, "How can a man be born when he is old? Can he enter a second time into his mother's womb and be born?" Jesus answered, "Most assuredly I say to you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter the kingdom of God." And we talked about how, let me just refresh us right there. The last verse of John MacArthur's note there said, "Thus Jesus made reference to the spiritual washing or purification of the soul accomplished by the Holy Spirit through the Word of God at the moment of salvation, required for belonging to His kingdom." So we talked about how water and spirit went simultaneously or went connected together to mean the cleansing of the soul, and how modern times we think of water makes us think of the baptism, believers' baptism. Anyway, tonight's verses 6 and 7 says, "That which is born of the flesh is flesh, and that which is born of the Spirit is spirit. Do not marvel that I said to you, you must be born again." Verse 8 there says, "The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear the sound of it, but cannot tell where it comes from and where it goes. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit." All right, let's go back to verse 6 here. "That which is born of the flesh is flesh, that which is born of the Spirit is spirit." I think we all understand the difference and the separation of the flesh and the spirit. Flesh, obviously, is our body. The Bible refers to it in places as just a tent that houses your spirit, which is your inner self. The spirit is everything else: your thoughts, your desires, your wants, your work ethic, your drive to acquire the things that you need. So when reading scripture and spirit is capitalized, it's referencing the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of God. And we see that's what we have in this particular verse. We have both iterations. We have capital S and a lowercase s there in John chapter 6. John MacArthur, I usually read y'all his notes, but he doesn't have any on these two verses because they're pretty self-explanatory. But David Guzik does, and I'll share with you those. That which is born of the flesh is flesh. Without the new birth of the Spirit, with a capital S, the flesh taints all works of righteousness. Yet everything that a spirit-led man does can be pleasing to God. And he quotes Alfred there, another commentator, who says, in this flesh is included every part of that which is born after the ordinary method of generation. Even the spirit of man, which receptive as it is to the Spirit of God, is yet in the natural birth dead, sunk in trespasses and sins. So until we are washed with the water and touched by the Spirit, we are in our trespasses and sins. Let's look back at verse 7 there. Get back over here, verse 7. Do not marvel that I said you must be born again. Again, MacArthur has no notes there, and but Guzik does. Guzik says, do not marvel that I said to you, you must be born again. Again, Nicodemus did marvel at this statement because he, like most all Jews of his time, believed they already had the inner transformation promised in the new covenant. Jesus wants him to take hold of the fact that he does not have it and must be born again. We should not forget whom Jesus said this to. Nicodemus is a religious leader, a Pharisee, an educated man, and an earnest man. By all outward appearance, he already was transformed unto God, yet he was not. And again, there, Guzik quotes Morris, who is a different commentator. He says, these solemn words forever exclude the possibility of salvation by human merit. Man's nature is so gripped by sin that an activity of the very Spirit of God is necessary if he is to be associated with God's kingdom. Amen. That's a good word right there. And then verse 8, the one that Walter's been waiting on to hear me stumble through.
No, I got my own interpretation, as you know.
Okay. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear the sound of it, but cannot tell where it comes from and where it goes. So is everyone who is born of the Spirit. Mm-hmm. MacArthur has a note there, and I think this will clear it up for you, Walter. Jesus's point was that just as the wind cannot be controlled or understood by human beings, but its effects can be witnessed, so also it is with the Holy Spirit. He cannot be controlled or understood, but the proof of his work is apparent. Where the Spirit works, there is an undeniable and unmistakable evidence. Guzik also has notes there, if I can find it. The wind blows where it wishes. Jesus's idea to Nicodemus was, You don't understand everything about the wind, but you see its effects. That is just how it is with the birth of the Spirit. Jesus wanted Nicodemus to know that he didn't have to understand everything about the new birth before he experienced it. Charles Spurgeon there is quoted by Guzik, says, uh, since we can't control the Spirit, and Spurgeon says, it should lead us to be very tender and jealous in our conduct toward the Holy Ghost, so that we do not grieve him and cause him to depart from us. I love Charles Spurgeon. I don't know about y'all. So there's my notes there. My mother taught me as a young man there are two things a man can't hide: when he's drunk and when he's in love. Likewise, it should be with our relationship with Jesus. It will be apparent when we are not born of the water and the Spirit. Our lives should show the effects of being born of the water and the Spirit. If it doesn't, we should examine ourselves. And that's our verse of the week for tonight. Did I get it right, Walter?
I think so. And I always say this, and I say it without shame, that I have my own interpretation of what these verses mean, and it's only what they mean to me. So I'm going to tell you what I get out of this section. And we start talking about, that which is born of the flesh, as opposed to being born again with water. All of us were born in a gush of water. Yeah. But at the time we were born, the Spirit may or may not have been with you at that time, and with your mother, who was also of the flesh. Okay. And that's different from being born again, where the Spirit is with you. Not may or may not have been with you, but Spirit is with you. And that's, to me, that's what the water is all about, with being born again. And then kind of the rest of this is said, yeah, if you were born of the flesh and that was it, you never did anything else with the rest of your life, yes, you may have lived an okay life, you may have been okay. And then he says, but don't ask me, about this being born again. Don't bother wasting your time asking me why you should do this. It is what it is. If you want to go to heaven, you got to be born again. So don't test me on that. This is how it is. This is how it's going to be. And he likens this to the wind. He says the wind is free. We don't know where it came from, and you can't tell where it's going to go. And if you're born again, that's going to be kind of like you. When you're born again, you've got a brand new world. You've got a brand new day. You've got a brand new universe to go explore. And where you're going to end up, I don't know. But the Spirit is with you this time, and you've got a guide on out there in front of you. And it's different than just being born as a human being from the flesh of your mother, compared to being born again, where you've got this new road that's going to take you who knows where. We don't, just like the wind, we don't know where it's going to take you, but you've got some leadership in front of you this time. So, that's me. There's a couple more passages that are good.
I'm raising my hand, Jamie. I don't often have comments of verse of the week, but this might be helpful to some. I had a friend who's a few years older than me, who was a chemistry major, and he was a Christian. And he said the first thing we learn in chemistry is solvents. And when I say solvent, you think of acetone, paint thinner, alcohol. He said, but water is a solvent.
Yeah,
And that
we still call
water,
water the universal solvent. Yep.
it's a universal solvent.
It
And
really
water
is.
represented in the New Testament washes away sin. It's a solvent to wash away our sin as we accept the Lord. And I've always remembered his statement to that, and it really stuck with me. It was a good way to explain his experience, and actually my experience. It kind of touched me. Uh, that water is a solvent. Doesn't mean you're not going to sin anymore, but you're going to know when you have.
Yeah, you won't keep short accounts with your creator.
That's right.
And in this chapter, he keeps on saying, I need you guys to just believe me on this. You know, you've seen what we've been talking about. You've seen the effects of the word that I've been preaching to you. You know, don't worry about it when I say you got to be born again. That this is the way it is. And he says, you know what? I've told you about earthly things. He says, and some of you didn't believe me on that. I said, you know, hey, the wind blows from the west towards the east. If you don't believe me on that, go stand outside, you know, and watch it. But if you don't believe me on earthly things, how in the world how are you going to believe me on heavenly things? You got to have faith. You got to have some faith, you know. And we've got the whole rest of all of these pages in here showing us that, yeah, you kind of, I guess you're right. You know, look at all the stuff that happened the way you said it was going to happen. So there's a lot in this chapter, and Jamie knows that I like this guy, but you know.
I love John, but we have a sighting there. Walter, you want
Oh,
to count?
are we ready? All right, here we go. On 3, 2, 1. Hey, Mario! Vato Loco del Costa Oeste. How's it going over there, buddy?
Man,
What he
you went
said.
full cheese. You went full cheese and chong on me there. Walter.
Well, you got to, you know, it's California.
Yeah, I got you.
Spanish is the official language here.
It's getting to be that here.
It's there. It's that here around us too. Jay.
Yeah, well, it's good. You know, hey, I don't know what my kitchen would be without, you know, Mexican cooking.
You know,
That's
the
it.
more
It's
you
our
get,
heritage here.
you know, the more you, I guess, the older you get, the more interested in history you get. And, you know, sometimes you think, what are all those people doing up there, you know, or over there, and,
Yeah.
you know, like where Six lives. And then I realized, hey, dummy, we took their land away from them. They belong there more than we do. Okay?
Yeah,
So
right.
stop it.
Yeah.
Same with the Native Americans, man.
Well, we actually
wasn't
didn't
just
take
whites
it. We
here.
just bought it for $1.298. You know.
It wasn't just
Yeah.
white people.
We bought Texas. They just had a very low asking price.
Right. Exactly.
Now, when it comes to Native Americans,
God,
y'all
that's
took
awful.
Yeah. Well, that's a whole nother story about how the West was, well, and how North America was originally populated. And,
Well,
you know, you can talk about the Native Americans that were up here in what we would call our United States proper compared to the ones that are in South America and Mexico. There were some warring sons of guns. I mean, those people fought and took territory and, you know, prize money and all kinds of stuff from
you
each
didn't
other all
walk
the
across
time.
the Aztecs or the Incas.
Yeah.
well,
You
I
didn't walk
always
across
look
the
at it.
Navajos or the Comanche.
I always look at it this way. The predominant immigrant into America was Saxon, Irish, Anglo-Saxon, and we were very warlike people,
Mm-hmm.
and we conquered the world. We actually beat Romans back. You know, the Saxons. You know, the Romans had them warring against each other and this and that. And finally, those tribes said, you know, we've had enough of this. And Rome was weak at that time, and they beat them out of Britain. And but when they started settling America, that was their heritage, and we were very white people are a truly warlike tribe, and
Most
if
most humans are.
most humans are, but we figured it out. We know what total warfare is, and that's exactly what we did to the American Indian. And people can say, well, that was horrible, and it was horrible. It was terrible, but we wouldn't have what we have today. And
throughout history, the human race has always fought for what they thought was theirs, and they would fight to the death.
And that's never going to go away. And the only reason that Euros, you know, beat up on the Native Americans, the folks that were here before the Europeans, the only reason that happened was because we had more technology. Our technology level was better than theirs at first.
More than a stick.
But once the Native Americans got a hold of Winchesters and some of the cavalry were still shooting single shots and muskets, guess who was winning the fights?
Yeah, just ask Custer.
But if you go 5 times more people than that one tribe has, that tribe's probably going to lose their land.
Right. If you look back to Washington in his early days, of which there's getting ready to be a movie, Young Washington. I kind of look forward to seeing it if it's not too Hollywood up, you know. But he fought the French and Indian Wars, and we were getting our butts kicked. And it's just a miracle that we emerged from that, you know. Which one of my favorite movies of all time is Last of the Mohicans, which was filmed here in North Carolina, and
all of those battles that were fought out here on the Western Plains, you know, that just there were some amazing military battles that were fought, and the Native Americans were as astute in military tactics as the European armies that came to fight them.
They wanted to keep their land.
Yeah, but they were good. They'd been fighting for centuries amongst each other
over the same blade of grass. Yes,
and so they knew about how to fight. It's, you know, but the weaponry kind of is what got to them the most, I think, and the sheer numbers.
I've got a book called 6 Years in the Texas Rangers, and it's an actual account of a journal of a young man that spent 6 years in the Texas Rangers, and some of the Apaches and Comanches and whatever tribes he fought against, that was horrific. I mean, that was really horrific, you know. And they were riding out either solo or double or whatever. Kind of scary.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start going through the room here. I hate to cut it short, but
we're close. Yeah, let's go.
We got to clear the deck let's talk about bench rest with Kentucky Rimfire and all the guys. Good night, Dwayne. So, Walter, you want to?
Sure, I'll be quick and easy. Moldy Monday's done, is on vacation for a few months, so we still got Wadcutter Wednesday and Free the Few Friday episodes going on. I got a few other things that will have some occasional pop-up videos going on. Gonna continue my experimentation with this new powder perfect pattern. Eventually you guys will see some of that work, but it's going to be a while before I get stuff solidified with that. I'm not going to put anything out there until I'm ready to do it. I got a couple new firearms in here that are ready to go. I got a whole bunch of new molds and blah, blah, blah. So that's it for me. I appreciate being here. I missed last week, and I'm sorry about that. But happy to be here tonight. Always great to interact with all you guys over here on the side chat. A lot of fun for me, as you guys know. Okay, Kyle, what's happening, buddy?
Thank you, side chat. Thank you, panel, and thank you, frogs. I don't know if y'all heard them or not. I don't know how you can miss them. But yeah, it was a great chat tonight. I really appreciate it. I'm in the process of making up some off-roading jeeping videos between me, my wife, and the dogs, and might start putting out a little segment on that. But other than that, Six, what you got, buddy?
Oh, we're going to try to go shooting tomorrow. I hope we are. Don't know now till she gets home what she wants to do. But I wanted to go test out those pistols that Mr. Alan Horton fixed up for me. See how slicked up they are now. Got Wide Cutter Wednesday. And I also got a couple more videos of my Sheridan.
Woohoo!
Or that. So that's about it for me.
Thanks for being here, buddy.
Mark, what about you?
Oh, well, I'm just glad I got to come and sit and listen and learn as usual. You know, I'm not into this as long as you guys are, so everything I glean helps a lot. And so if you talk about your mistakes, I can relate a whole lot more than about your successes. But you know, I guess when you start out reloading, you got to mess up some to learn what you're doing wrong. Unless you got a class you can go to, and there's none of those here. But I'm looking forward to some fun times ahead. I enjoy it. It has become one of my favorite hobbies of my lifetime. So I enjoy the generosity and the help along the way from all you guys. It means a lot to me. And I'm going to pass it along to the man with the plan.
Well, thanks again, guys, for letting me jump on tonight. Really appreciate it. It's been a while since I've been on here, so I try to make time today. What have I got going on? I dropped a couple of videos tonight with a 650. Some problems that have been popping up over the years I've had it, so I did a video on how to rectify them. I'm still setting up my new Apex 10. I finally had some parts in, so there's be some more videos coming on that. Tomorrow and Sunday, I'm going to probably be just working in the house. We're redoing our master bathroom, so it's been on the go for a while, so we're going to try and plug on with that. And then Monday is going to be a loading day to get stuff ready for when I meet up with you guys in a week's time. So really looking forward to that. Can't wait to meet you all. And thanks for letting me jump on tonight, guys.
Thank you for being here. Maybe in the after chat you can tell us what you're bringing.
Sorry, say that again, Jamie.
Said maybe in the after chat you can tell us what you're bringing, if anything.
Yeah, I'll be bringing some stuff.
Good deal. Rebel, what you got coming up this week?
Work, knees, and I'm sorry I'll be wobbling around when y'all get here, but the next time you come here, I'm going to be bionic, like CW. So, yeah, but enjoyed the side chat, enjoyed the discussion of the night, enjoyed the verse of the week. I enjoyed everything about it. I always love being here. It gives me a hour and a half away from the wife and the daughter who are up there yakking at one another, and I'm down here in the basement and in my happy place. So, and Bama Dad, you're talking about mistakes. We don't talk about mistakes much here, but sometime you meet me personally, I still got all my phalanges, but I've had some bad loads, so it happens. You
Yeah,
gotta
I know
you
it's
gotta work
true.
you gotta work at it, but I always remember, guys, water is the solvent, and we're blessed with the Lord's promise, and I hope y'all all realize that that's the way to heaven is being blessed by His water, His blessing, His promise. So that's all I got to say about that. CW, what you got?
I've got 3 videos next week coming. We got a 308 video, I got a reloading video, and I got a long scope video. So you got that to look forward to. Good chat, good topic, a lot of interaction. Like to see that, and it went really well. So just want to thank everybody in side chat, everybody on the panel. It's a treat to be here every Friday night. Sit with you all for a little while. Jamie.
Next week, I think it's going to be a grab bag. I've been talking way too much. It's time for these other guys to do some talking, or either I'm going to assign different things to different folks so I don't have to talk all night.
So we might get homework.
You might get homework, or next week's going to be grab bag. Y'all bring in what y'all want to talk about, and we'll go from there. Then the week after that, we'll probably do 30 caliber Wildcats, 300 blackout, stuff like that. I got a lot to do this coming week, so hopefully we can get it done.
Bless you.
Bless you, sir.
And with
I'm suffering the same way.
with that, we'll leave y'all with this. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. The Lord lift up His countenance upon you and give you peace. And if He's willing, we'll see y'all next Friday night at 8 o'clock. Say good night, y'all.
God bless everyone.
Y'all.